Mac Jones does it again for the San Francisco 49ers, taking them to an undefeated 3-0 record. Now they get to host Trevor Lawrence and the Jags, who beat their division rival, the Houston Texans, in week 3. My name's Tyler, here with my brother Ryan, and we're going to break down this Jags 49ers week 4 matchup and provide our predictions at the end. So be sure to leave a comment. Let us know who you think is going to win and why. And hit that subscribe button, get notified when new videos come out. And Ryan, 49ers go undefeated on the season with a last-second field goal, beating the Cardinals 16-15, while the Jacksonville Jaguars had a 17-10 victory over their division rival, the Houston Texans, sending them to 0-3, by the way. That's some big news. So, but in general, though, I think one of the biggest things as well, too, for the 49ers, like to be 3-0 and with all the injuries that they're still having, Brock Purdy, your starting quarterback, has been out. Brandon Ayuk hasn't played yet as well. George Kittle goes out with a hamstring injury, and potentially even two as well. Nick Bosa, he left the game with a first quarter knee injury. From initial reports, it looks like it was an ACL tear, but there's still testing that needs to be done, and also how long he's going to be out. If he is out, I'm assuming he probably will be. That is still to be determined. But that all being said, though, in general, this defense is looking top notch as well, too, for San Francisco, with Robert Saleh coming back, holding the Arizona Cardinals to just 159 passing yards and only 106 rushing yards. And that's big, too, because the Cardinals was one of the best rushing teams last year as well. So things, hey, doesn't matter how it's like pars in golf. It doesn't matter how you get it, but just a victory is a victory,
Yeah.
And as long as you win the last game of the season, then who really cares, right? So the Jags, same way, I think, the same mentality. Doesn't matter how you win, just win. You're going 2-1 on the season is good. They nearly could be undefeated, but they lost to Cincinnati in week 2. And I think it's going to be very interesting in this matchup here on how Trevor Lawrence and this offense continue to keep on just going up against tough defenses. Houston offensively is really struggling, but they have one of the better defenses in the league, and I think that showed in Jacksonville as they struggle a little bit to move the ball. 222 passing yards for Trevor Lawrence, only 86 rushing yards for the team with Travis Etienne and Byshell Tootin, and Trevor Lawrence even had a couple yards as well. But Ryan, want to throw it over to you here. What are your thoughts on this Niners team and this Jags team, and what are some of the key points both teams need to focus on to come out victorious?
Yeah, I like your analogy there for the 49ers. Just win. It doesn't matter how it looks. Just figure out a way to win games. And that's what they've done so far. They had a gritty win against the Seahawks, the Saints, and now the Arizona Cardinals. So just finding ways to win. That's always good, especially for your culture, because it instills like a never give up mentality in that in your locker room. So I like that. Jaguars are looking good. That was a big division win. It was 10-10 for a little while there, and they were able to get a touchdown and close out that game. So I've been relatively impressed with what I've seen from this offense, especially too that like Brian Thomas Jr. had a great rookie year. He has not been, I don't want to say utilized because he had like some major drops last week, but I think too, incorporating Travis Hunter more and more on both sides of the ball, I think it's only going to improve. And this is also a team that's still learning a new system under Liam Cohn and getting used to that as well. So I think it's a good start for the Jaguars, and I'm excited to see how they continue to improve as the season goes along and they continue to play with each other. So I think it's going to be a fun matchup. I think too, this Jaguars defense gets a little overlooked, but they do have some really good pass rushers on that defense. And Trayvon Walker has really started to develop into one of the better edge rushers in the NFL. So I think this is a fun one. I'm excited to see what goes on here. Hopefully Brock Purdy can come back and the 49ers can be can start, I don't say at full strength because they're pretty banged up on the offensive side of the ball, but start to get that process going of getting some of their star players back.
Yeah, we'll have to see Brock Purdy with his turf toe. And I think we're all learning a lot about turf toe, especially too
Yeah.
than with Joe Burrow. But he
It
might
sounds
still be.
terrible, actually, if you look
Yeah,
into
no,
it.
it doesn't seem good at all. And so
Yeah.
it's I think he had the lesser version of it, especially compared to Joe
Yeah.
Burrow. I think Joe Burrow's was like the worst kind. And
Yeah.
so, but yeah, I think too with Jacksonville, to your point, it's like they have the weapons there, and drops were still an issue today against Houston.
Yeah.
I know Parker Washington, he had several drops. as well. So if they clean that up, I think Trevor Lawrence's stats could be a little bit better. I think one of the things that is still going to be an interesting to watch is just how this Jags offensive line handles against this defensive front seven from San Francisco. Now I need to see if Nick Bosa is there, but still, they still have a very formidable defense front seven, led by their star linebacker Fred Warner as well too. So they're always going to be in the right spots. Robert Sala, say what you want say what you want about him as a head coach. However, defensively though, there's never been any question I think about his defensive capabilities, and I think him being back in San Francisco, this defense is only going to be getting stronger and stronger. So I think that's going to be a very interesting matchup for this Jags team. And then on the flip side, then too as well, you mentioned the edge rushers and the pass rush from Jacksonville. Can can Mac Jones be able to continue to keep on delivering and not making mistakes? Like he nearly lost a game for San Francisco with the late interception, and then on the flip side, then too as well, um, that set up the punt in and inside the 5, which then led to the holding penalty that led to the safety. Now the holding penalty wasn't Mac Jones's fault, but I think the
No,
interceptions kind of set that series of events up.
he held on to the ball too long, and it could have potentially set up. I agree, it's not his fault, but he could have potentially set up his offensive lineman poorly.
Yeah. So, but that's why he's a backup quarterback. That's why he's not a starting quarterback anymore. He's clearly got the mindset of it. He's got the arm, to be a serviceable backup, and he's able to win games as well. It's just can he just limit the mistakes, get the ball to Christian McCaffrey and the star playmakers as well too, because even too as well, like they're missing their top 2 pass catchers in Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle, but Ricky Pearsall, he's stepping up nicely. 8 catches for 117 yards. I say top 2 pass catch. I meant that outside of Christian McCaffrey because McCaffrey still had 10 catches for 88 yards, and so he still
Yeah.
had a great game. I think nearly 140 all-purpose yards. It looks like so. I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup for me when I look at this game. I think being at home, and I also think too. I think this defensive line is going to give Trevor Lawrence some issues. And I think that's where, to me, I think it's going to be the difference. I think the Niners are going to be able to pull this one out. And I think they're going to be able to move the ball a little bit easier than I think they were today against a very stout Arizona Cardinals defense. And so I have San Francisco winning in another close one.
I'm going to go with Jacksonville. Actually, I just think this team is going to continue to improve with the loss of Nick Bosa on that defense. I think that's going to take a severe bite out of the pass rush for this 49ers team. That's going to give Trevor Lawrence a little bit more clean pockets and a little bit less disruption. I also think too, this Jags team, they've kind of continually progressed as the season has gone on, and I think that path is going to continue for this offense. They're just going to continue to get better. They had a tough matchup today against the Texans defense, and they also see them twice a year. But I think going into San Francisco, hopefully they are a little bit more potent on the offensive side of the ball, and defensively can get after Brock Purdy or Mac Jones or whoever's back there, because neither of those guys, Brock Purdy, I'm sure 49ers fans are aware of this, but Brock Purdy, when healthy, is one of the better scrambling quarterbacks. Him and Josh Allen actually have the most scramble yards, I believe, in 2024. And so if he's healthy and that turf toe is not bothering him, which even then he still might be a little hesitant on it, both those guys will be relatively easier targets in the pocket. So I'm going to go with Jacksonville here for a little bit of a road upset on this one.
I like it.
So
I like it. I think it's going to be a fun game. A lot of fun games.
Yeah.
Here, week 4.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. Let's wrap it up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That is the best way to help out the channel. While you're down there, leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Will it be the Jacksonville Jaguars? Will it be the San Francisco 49ers? Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.